Welcome to your source for amplitude modulation on ham radio, the AM window.
Very good there, Gary. Very good. And, yeah, you're coming in quite nicely up here to Shepherdsville this morning. Nice 10 over signal. A little bit of QSB fades on it, but zero dropout. So coming in quite nicely on the FT101. Not bad at all. And yeah, I'm running the usual up here, the Flex 3K Commander amplifier and the folded dipole run through the kilowatt matchbox tuner. So that's the station set up here. Yeah, I guess I've got one of those essential jobs there too, Gary. So you know, working at the post office, it's going to run. So no matter what. Mail's going to come in one side of the building, it's going to get processed, and it's going to go out the other side, and it will be delivered. So, you know, all of that will happen. And we had our first, let's put the quotations mark up there, confirmed COVID-19 case in the Louisville post office up here at the main branch post office. But my feeling on all of this is that in early February, it has already run through the place. You know, in early February, you know, there was a lot of people running around with snotty noses, sick, coughing up that gunk out of your lungs and everything else, and there was a group of people running around doing that, myself included. So, but nobody had even heard of COVID-19 at that point. And, you know, they didn't come out with the social distancing and testing and all that since over this last week or so. And I think it's already been out there and been moved around. But a lot of folks find that, you know, to keep themselves you know, away from the general public at most, you know, they need to, well, they just never were exposed to it. And, you know, look at the big, huge number up in New York City and Los Angeles and all that. It's because they're testing for it. They've got big numbers. What was it? West Virginia was at a zero for a while. It's not that the virus didn't make it into West Virginia. There's because they weren't testing for it, and they're not testing for it a lot here in Kentucky. You know, they're starting to, but early on it just didn't happen. You know, if you were sick, you just you know, you could call into the doc and say, hey, I'm sick, and then he'll say, quarantine yourself, and then it was done. You know. But I think a good group of folks had already gotten run through that, and have already gotten over it. But and there was no at that point in time there was no self-containing and all that kind of stuff, because like said, nobody had heard of COVID-19 back then, or now in February. So, you know, the genie is out of the bottle. And with the containment that they have now, I think they're a very, very good idea to try to keep it from spreading to those that don't or couldn't handle actually having that. So, I don't know. Just my feelings on it, and, you know, maybe wrong, maybe right. I don't know, but just my feelings on it. Anyway, we're running 31 degrees here in north central Kentucky, and I can't believe it was warmer than us. By about 3 degrees. So, well, let me send it back around there to you. I'm sending it to Mr. Got it down there to, no? I wrote things backwards on here. Where's it goes? It goes to you and Richard, and let me mark my sheet.
It goes over to Rich.
What'd you pick it up? 35ZML down there, White B, K84U, and... hopefully each and every one of you stay safe and looking forward to the next time around when the conditions will a little bit better. W3 Jim Michael Radio. Thanks for bringing me in, Dan, and 73's on the way there. I'm putting on vacation. I'm going to unplug. You know, it's on the Facebook. I'm going to go to the club and Joe and everybody. Go ahead, nice to meet you for the first time. W5 6 mile west of Danamel over here in White Beach, Oklahoma. Every day, Richard. She's up to
All right. Well, 7-3 to you, Richard. W5ZML. In the group. Let me adjust this loading here. There we go. I was down the band a little bit the other night and never put things back to the way I had them. Anyway, back on the DX100 here. Yeah, 7-3 to you, Richard. Really great meeting up with you here this morning. I'm real happy we got to work finally. Like I was saying earlier, I've heard you on many times, and it's always a pleasure to listen to you and the old man there rag chew back and forth, whether it be on AM or sideband down the band ways or whatnot. You always sound great up this way. Always have a great signal on you. And like I said, I hope you feel better, man. I hope you can get them little health issues that you got going on under control, and get back to normal. And I'll let my pop know that you did say good morning to him, and pass along your best wishes to him when I speak with him today. I'm sure I'll speak with him soon. I generally speak with him every morning, and then all throughout the day, every day there. So a day doesn't go by that I don't talk to him. So we'll definitely pass along your well wishes there, Richard. And stay safe down there, buddy. Stay out of the public there, and we don't need you getting this crap. And go ahead and unplug and be safe down there with the storms coming. We'll catch you later. And I heard GZQ. I believe that it didn't sound like Kevin though. I heard GZQ, but it didn't sound like Kevin. So I don't know if that was you, Kev, or I'm hearing things, or I'm hearing the voice of God out there letting me know that you're coming on soon. Real good stuff, Gary, and Dan. Yeah, we're all essential, man. We and Dan, you working at the post office? I couldn't imagine. That would be nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking for me working on cars and getting in and out of customers' cars all day, and because people, let's face it, the majority of people aren't real clean. Okay, and I don't work in the best of neighborhoods. All right, I work in the city here, and it's the demographic is a little lower class. Okay, and it seems to be even dirtier. The cars seem to be even dirtier. Okay, so I'm wearing rubber gloves every time I get in the car. I'm spraying keys down with Lysol, spraying steering wheels down, putting steering wheel covers on, floor mats. We don't have any seat covers, but and I'm going through boxes of latex gloves. It seems like every 3 days because of this crap. And but sometimes you get into such a rush that you forget to spray the stuff down, or you forget to put on a pair of gloves when you get in the car. Or you forget to grab the steering wheel cover off your toolbox, and it's almost impossible to stay 100% vigilant with this stuff, man. It's a real shame. But yeah, Dan, with you, I'd be a nervous wreck working at that damn post office with all that stuff coming in, and just literally thousands and thousands of different people touching that mail, and before they send it in. I don't know exactly what you do at the post office, but I'm sure you're around it just as much as everybody else. So I'm going to keep it moving here. It goes to Gary next, but Kevin, if that was you, we'll pick you up. And then it goes over down to Gary, WD4 NKA, and then over to Dan, UMU. So if that was you, Kevin, KK4 GZQ in the group, W3 MMR.
Okay, Terry, I was just getting the room here, getting ready to make coffee. Listen to me here, I can't even talk. I'm just right out of my fresh out of the sack here. Terry, good morning to you. You know something I'll add to that? Is money. Money is money. Oh, man. I feel for you. Having to deal with people out there with not taking care of their vehicles and such. Anyway, yeah, that's not good. The way that people are out there as far as taking care of their keeping clean and whatnot. So anyway, Perry, just keep me in the rotation. I'll go in there and make coffee and figure out what I need to do next here, and I'll be back. Gary, good morning to you. WD4 NKA with the group. Here's KK4 GZQ. I'll be back.
November 4, Echo Delta Queen, good morning. Well, good morning all the way around. Good morning to you, Kevin. Good signal. Hey, good morning to you. And I did copy Richard's LL. I did not catch it. About signal I had mentioned earlier was to see you. So, sounding good on Shepherd, so didn't do nothing yesterday, man. I mean, I became a couch potato. It was, Holly had her birthday yesterday, and I was going to take her out on a little picnic. We didn't want to go to no fast food place or nothing. Just kind of, so I made sandwiches ready to go, and lo and behold, we just kind of stayed in. Crazy, man. I got everything ready, and we're just sitting in our PJs, and all of a sudden we're looking at the clock. It's about 12 days. So let's have lunch. So I need lunch over the top what we can eat in the refrigerator prior to. And made lunch, and we sat down and conked out a couple of times. And talk about being a bum, man. And I know what it feels like to be a bum. So there you go. And then at supper time, she says, well, we might as well have our sandwiches. Don't make the big thing. So we did. So anyway, that was our day yesterday. Let me see. I'm supposed to get to Dan. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, sir.
All right. Good morning to you there, Henry, and Gary coming on, and Kevin as well. And actually had a pretty good copy on everybody. Kevin, you're a little light over here, and I'm sure I'm the same way back over there, but I'm hearing you loud and honest. And Gary, Richard down in Oklahoma, he's in White Bead, Oklahoma. That's down in southeast Oklahoma. And we kid Richard down there, and we tell him he's the mayor of White Bead. So he's a real girl, no matter about it. And yeah, when I was stationed, I think it was I was at the Marine Corps Air Station in Arizona, and actually got to talk to Robert and Bernice on the 10-meter band, and also talked, or what a 10-meter band? It was on 10 meters, and I got a card from Richard when he was out trucking across the United States there. So that was pretty cool. So we got to dig all that out years later, and I'd sent Richard one of my cards and stuff. No, matter of fact, I wasn't at the Marine Corps Air Station. I was in southern New Mexico. There we go. Boy, we'll get it all straightened out yet. And but still, yet it's neat to catch Richard in there when he jumps on the band. And Perry, yeah, I guess maybe it could be nerve-wracking. Now check this out. You know, if you were just up in the building working, and you know, with all the mail and the packages and all that coming in, you probably would be a little nervous about what. Not as many people touch that as you would think. A lot of it comes in steel metal carts and stuff right off the truck, and people are touching those carts right and left. But they get dumped into big, huge machines, and the machines start sorting it, and in the whole 9 yards, you know, the packages and stuff. Now the mail's a whole different story. You know, we've got mail processing machines. You can look it up on YouTube. Look up DBCS, Delta Bravo Charlie Sierra. It's delivery barcode sorting machines, and that's what the vast majority of all of the just like letter stock mail is run on those machines. And you can look that up on YouTube. Do a search for USPS DBCS, and it'll show you those machines. And a lot of that mail is just, you know, one person feeds it right into the front of it, and it sorts it all through these like 220 pockets in this machine. And you got one guy that's grabbing the mail that is sequenced out for delivery, and then that goes out the building, out to the smaller branch post offices where the carriers grab it up and stick it in their vehicles and go poke it in mailboxes. But what I've been doing all of this month is we've up here we had a guy that was doing these key lock changes all over the city. You know, these they're called cluster box units or CBUs. It's those front load type mailboxes for large communities, you know, groups of addresses in them and stuff, you know. But anyway, I've been going out and doing key lock changes on those for people who move in, move out, lose their keys, or never had a functioning mailbox. But we get quite a few requests for key lock changes, and also repairing and servicing these blue collection boxes that you see everywhere. So kind of a dual job. But anyway, the guy that was doing this job took off the 1st of March to go to Japan. Now, he was supposed to be over there for the first month, and what we were hoping was that he was going to go over there, spend 2 weeks in what do you call it, detention? But, you know, to where they, you know, check him and make sure that he's good to come back. But now that they've stopped all people coming from overseas back to the States, we don't know how that's going to turn out. So I'm just along for the ride. So every day, I'm out there every day, and I hit all over the entire city of Louisville up here, so I'm everywhere all the time. I'm in the good parts of the neighborhoods, the bad parts of the neighborhoods, you name it, I'm there. But the upside is I'm out there by myself and nobody's around me, which is great. So, you know, continuously washing the hands all the time. Probably wash my hands, you know, 30 times and use gobs of that sanitizing gel and all that kind of stuff. So, but that's what I've been doing. Been filling in for the guy that's gone to Japan. And like I say, I'm not really too concerned about all that. I mean, I got to follow the protocols that the government has set up. You know, 6 feet from everybody, wash your hands like. I've been doing that. They're one of those government branches that they're full up 100% running, but the downside of that is we've got a lot of people out. So, you know, if somebody got killed or what have you, you know, they're just gone. So, so, you know how that goes. The rest of the guys in the building got to take up the load, and they're doing a fantastic job with it there. So anyway, I guess enough on that. Let's send it on back around. Here she comes up in your direction. And 73 to Richard down in White Beach, Oklahoma. W3 MMR from KD4 UMU.
KD4 UMU in the group from W3 MMR. Real good stuff, Dan. Interesting, real interesting. And yeah, I went right on YouTube when you said that, and and checked out the letter sorting and all that stuff there. It's I mean, that's the stuff you don't think about, you know, when you put your mail in the excuse me, in the blue bin on the corner of the street, because we still got, you know, here living where I live, we have those little blue mailboxes, drop boxes there on not every corner, but there's a lot of them around. There's one about a block away from me. You know, open a big old blue blue mailbox up, dump it in there, and open it back up, check to see, make sure the letter fell down into the bin, and then go about your business. They're blue now. I remember as a kid, they used to be almost like a steel color when I was younger, and I always remember this as a kid. I don't know why, but in the summertime when I'd be walking around this, you know, around the town, and you know, out with my friends, you know, at 10, 11 years old, go and walk into the playground or whatever, and I would touch those mailboxes, and those damn things would be so hot, you know, and I always wanted to figure out a way as well how I could get in one. I always thought it'd be so cool to be inside of one of those things. Don't ask me why. And by me saying that probably explains a lot about me. But I always want to try to get inside of one. And those things are the same ones. They've been on the same corners for years, these things. And, they're old. I think this is, slapped a coat of paint on them. And I think there's not really, obviously not much to them. There's the door that you open up to put the letter in. And then the door with the front door with the key on it that the mail carrier pulls out the big mail bin, the letter bin out of. And I got a couple of those letter bins here at the house that I've somehow, come across over the years. Honestly, I think I saw there was a stack of them at one of those mailboxes, and when I was younger, and I just so happened to grab one. I looked around to see if anybody was watching and grabbed one. Like when you walk behind the gas station and they got all those damn milk crates and you grab a milk crate. You're thinking to yourself, they're not going to miss it. But it's probably a federal offense, so don't report me, guys, please. Anyway, real good stuff there, Dan. And like I said, it's the stuff you don't think about, man. All those machines got to be so fast. Can you imagine trying to sort all those letters by hand and how long mail would take? With the amount of mail that that we have nowadays, and how long it would take, and how many people it would take if we had to literally sort it all by hand and had none of them automated machines. I guess it's almost a task that it's so big you can't wrap your mind around, But real good stuff, and thanks for what you do there, Dan, and hope you stay safe there. And and I guess I was saying more of you don't know who the letters are coming from, but by the time I guess the letters and stuff get back to that point, most of them, that this virus doesn't stay on those surfaces that long. I don't think it stays on harder surfaces for longer, but it's probably not even contagious by the time it gets back to that point. So that's more, I guess, what I would be concerned about. And good morning to you, Kevin. GZQ, you and Dan are bombing in up here. I mean, big signals. I'm having a rough time with Gary this morning. I got about 50% of what you said, Gary. And Henry, you're pretty strong. You're lots of QSB on your signal, Gary. You'll go, or Henry, you'll go up way strong, and then drop down right to my noise level. And I have a little bit of a rough time with you for a sentence or two, and then you'll come back up. But the crystal selectivity in this HQ 140 seems to help out with that. Getting rid of some of the excess band noise there. So, with that being said, we'll see if Kevin's back from making his mud, and we'll keep things moving along. And 7-3 once again to you, Richard. Katie, listen to me. Oh my gosh, KK4GZQ in the group from W3 MMR.
Okay, Barry, we're good. W3 MMR is the one Dan, and to again, Barry and Henry, joined in of the first Henry, and also Barry again. And you guys are all good leaders. We're talking in the right spot this morning. Running the flex this morning for 3,000 with the AL 1200 F5. You guys let me know how that's sounding. I'm using all the same settings. When I send it down to flex, one thing that they do, even times I send it down there, it comes back mechanical. The way you have it tank frequency, evidently, I don't know, but nothing would change on it whatsoever. I just looked it up, and right down the list here, Dan, on my mic setting, the DX setting, of course, the box, and the DXP. They had one thing, of course, DX equalizer is all the same. So, pretty good. A good experience with folks at Flex. It just was a little bit of an ouch whenever I had to hurt one of us had to pay to get it back going. But anyway, so the story goes, as they say. Anyway, I'll send it on down to you, Gary. Good morning to Henry that's joined the group here. And I'll take a few more sips so I don't sound like Tennessee. had the group quickly forward to use those two together. And, those are those 306P locks in the main brace coasthouse where they feel back from the big brass keys. And, to tell you the truth, those brand new rear seats lock. And they're not broken in and all that kind of stuff. And there's absolutely no lubrication inside the lock. And sometimes just using a little bit of lubricating oil inside that lock makes all the difference in the world. Now, I'm not talking about the WD-40 or something like that. And of course, WD-40 will work for a little while, but that is actually a rudder displacement type fluid. So it's really doesn't have that high interference from the strong air. If you take something like a gun oil or something like that, that is much more effective on those little tumblers that move up and down, little springs and all that kind of stuff. Quite a bit more effective on it. But sometimes just taking that key and running it in quick or running it out quick will help it out. But the oil will help it slide a bit more. Anything else from maybe 3-in-1 oil or something like that, maybe take a little jug of that with you and give a little squirt in the lock and then ride your key in there, and that'll probably take care of the vast majority of your problem. I found out that a lot of the stuff just doesn't work, and that it's written up. It's just usually the lack of time or lack of lubrication in those locks. So I'm not through quite a bit of that spring over. Either like a little cup of milk on the truck that's got that something done oil, that's oil preservative type thing. And I use the fire on that stuff, so we'll do quite a bit of that stuff. Maybe that'll help you out as far as those 306P locks that you got. And like I said, the 306 is just a number on the lock. If you look at your key, I'm not sure if the customer key has the 306 on it or not, but anyway, it's got the round head on the top of the big brass key, so that's probably what you have there. And like I say, Perry running around the city and all that, it was kind of nerve-wracking in the sense when all of this started out, but I'm doing what I can do, and we just kind of carry on and just do what needs to be done, and I think that's what the rest of the other guys are doing as well. So and try not to let it get you too wound up. The thing that concerns me is when I'm out working on the street and somebody wants to wrap up and turn to me, I back up immediately. Now that I don't like, so try to keep that very, very aware of the social distancing thing there, And if I'm out to eat lunch or something like that, of course I hit a drive-through or something like that, but my favorite spots to go is the old Tent Kitchen downtown, but we'll roll past there, and man, there's people lined out the front door, out around the parking lot, and they're all standing, they're like 6 feet apart. I could roll around standing through all that, so I went and did something different. But it is very, very interesting, strange times that we're living in now, no doubt about it. But, the thing of it is this virus seems to be a little more nastier than some of the others. Well, I can't really say that. I mean, man, look at the numbers. When some of these other viruses come through, M1 or M1H1 and hantavirus. We've always been bombarded by some type of a virus, but looking at what's going on in Italy and the death toll and all that is why they've kind of locked the country down to try to stay ahead of what's going on. And all we got to do is just ride through it, and we'll all be okay. Just let it kind of wear itself out. But anywho, let's see, Kevin. I know you might have said what radio you're on there, but I didn't catch it. I wonder if you maybe trying out the flex this morning or what's going on that end. And somebody had talked about dirty money. That might have been Kevin. That's why I wrote the note down. For for a while, I've not even messed with regular money. You know, I've been using just my credit card or my bank card or and stuff like that. And what that does is reduces the amount of change. Because you've always everybody needs that change. And your card usually gets just filled up with, you know. And that touching the money and everything else was like you know, you guys were saying that money is dirty. So that's how so we're pretty much going away from on a daily basis. Just try to stay away from doing that. And see Gary talking about the boxes and stuff. You know these boxes that we set, those blue collection boxes that we set around. I was sitting in one next to a truck stop down there. You know, just to spend on a mailbox to set a new mailbox out here. And I walked him around the side there. I said, hey, look at the date on the side of this box. And he looked at it and he goes, 1940. So it was a 1940 box. And this will get spruce them up and come back in the supply system. And when we order a new mailbox, we get this new refurb box. But yeah, they don't throw them away and all that. And you know, unless they get run over by a fine Chevy truck or something, and they get kind of squashed. And then, yeah, they go right to the scrap metal bin. But otherwise, they just get their refurbed and sent back out. Anyway, that. Gary, here she comes, WF3EMR. Everybody's still holding in pretty good on this end. KD4 UMU.
KD4, excuse me, UMU in the group from W3 MMR. Jeez. Sorry, guys. Every time, it's coffee, I think, in the morning does this to me. It always, you know, kind of not clogs my throat up. It makes it a little, where I got to clear it all the time. So I apologize about that. I know it probably gets annoying. I do it all the time. I'm having a really rough time with Gary. I almost completely lost Gary here. And I don't have WebSDR at this operating position, unfortunately. But everyone else is coming in real good still. Yeah, Kevin, about the money. Lately, I haven't been up front in the office as much. You know, running the shop from up front. I've been in the back. I'm officially the shop foreman, so you know, I usually have a lot of responsibility and keeping an eye on the guys in the back. Most of the time, but on Thursdays, the one manager, he's not even a manager, he's more of a service writer, is off, and the boss man is usually up front, but when he leaves, and he's always leaving throughout the day, that's when I gotta watch the front and deal with the customers and parts and cashing people out and dealing with the money, so on and so forth. But as of late, I probably honestly I handled cash yesterday because I had to go over to the gas station and put gas in a car that I worked on. But the past few Thursdays, probably the past 2 Thursdays, I don't even think I took in any cash. I think it was all credit cards. And I don't touch the, you know, I don't touch their cards. They put it right in the, we got a little pin pad thing, you know, right there on the desk, on the desk there that they put their card in and enter their pin number in and stuff. And I have my own separate, you know, a unit underneath the desk there where I punch in the price and type of sale, so on and so forth. So I've been lucky as far as that goes, not handling money, really ever since this kind of started to pick up here in the United States. But when I go over to the gas station across the street to get coffee in the morning, those people over there that are handling cash, I mean, all day long, aren't wearing gloves. I mean, these guys, and they're not, I've noticed there was like 4 people in line, all of them had cash in front of me. I never carry cash, but they all had cash in front of me. And every time they take the money, put it right in the drawer, go right on to the next person. Never sanitize in between, nothing like that. Just keep going. And the one lady, you know, was handling the money, then went and scratched her eye. You know, it's it's I don't think it's you know, not the ignorance or lack of lack of care or anything like that. I just, it's just when you're in work mode like that, it's hard to you know, program yourself to sanitize after every transaction, or wear gloves all the time, or change up your daily routine because you're not used to it, and you have to be constantly thinking about that because it's something, you know, out of the ordinary, and you're so wrapped up with in your daily, you know, routine at work and what you're trying to take care of there, you're not, you know, you don't even think about you know, washing your hands or not touching your eyes or your face, or you know, or sanitizing, or putting a pair of gloves on, and so on and so forth. I mean, you really gotta be real diligent when it comes to this stuff, man, and it's really hard to there. And then you got people, you know, the people I feel for is like Richard, who have breathing problems, like Richard with the COPD, and you know, people like that. It's just, I couldn't imagine being in a position like that. Like, I would be, you know, I would be nervous. I wouldn't leave the house, you know, because if you catch this stuff, you have a serious respiratory issue as it is, or diabetes, or any kind of underlying issue, man, you're in bad shape. Like, it's you know, you really got to be careful. And luckily, I'm healthy for the most part, and young still, so I'm at low risk. But like my father, he's 60, he'll be 69 here in a month. And he's being real careful about leaving the house, you know, and anytime he gets any mail, he's wiping it down and lets it sit for a while before he touches it, and then he sprays it, wipes it down, and then he waits another extended amount of time before he opens the package. And you know, you really gotta stay on this stuff, man. It's real serious, and hopefully, you know, I just hope it doesn't affect too many people, but things aren't looking that great as it is. So we'll see. But everybody's still sounding great up here. Everybody's signals are holding up besides Gary there, which is unfortunate. Gary, you were coming in real good at first, but I guess it's just the way the cookie crumbles here at the present time there. I think that's all I had to comment on at this go-round. So back down to you, Kevin. The mayor of Nonsuch, KK4GZQ in the group, W3MMR on the DX100.
Did I double with the braking station? Go ahead. Hey, I didn't hear anybody. MMR group. Terry, real quick, I found what was wrong with my audio. Anyway, I'm assuming everything sounds right on it now. Is that okay?
Yeah, you sound fine here, buddy.
Okay, Terry, thanks. They've got that connector that looks like an Ethernet if you will, or connector, if you will. And I went down and they were hanging about half out, and I thought, well, that's not and it was probably intermittent, probably not grabbing ground like Henry was saying. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate that. Thought to myself, oh gosh, surely I'm not having problems with it already, but yeah, that's the first thing I looked at, was look down for mic input. Anyway, enjoying all your comments on everything to do with trying to deal with the problem here and how we're having to change our lives. I went to Lexington yesterday, and boy, I have a good story for you guys. I went to a neighborhood yesterday where I have already done about 5 houses on one street, and this neighborhood just loaded. It's a nice neighborhood with great, big, nice houses, and they, you know, take pride in taking care of their stuff and yada yada. and went and gave the first bid to the woman, which was a referral from one of the neighbors. And then she said, yeah, well, after we got done, she agreed to have me do the work. She said, well, let's look at his too. So we looked at his and got his too. And then he looked at me after we were done and said, well, there's a guy across the street here. So, boy, that made me feel good leaving there yesterday. I got three good jobs there on one street right there in Lexington. So, but one thing we did is where I usually kind of get close to people and meet them and shake hands and, you know, introduce myself, etc. None of that. Of course, we just all kept our distance and kind of realized what it was and handled it. It just sucks. So, anyway, I feel real lucky that the phone's still ringing through all this, and hopefully we'll get to continue and do these jobs. Anyway, I wanted to also say before I turn it over to Gary, one thing that this, my brain is just not working. One thing about staying home a lot here lately is quarantines is the word I was using, because I don't really feel quarantined per se, but you know, we're having to stay home and stay out of the public for the most part. Is that the truck is both trucks are washed, oil's changed on both of them. The inside of the enclosed trailer is all neat and done. All the machines that I carry with me have all been serviced. The garage out here that's been needing me to go through and pull away old paint cans and dried up drywall mud and just things where I've been running and gunning in and out of that garage here. It's all clean and all the stuff is at the dump now and everything organized. So I don't know. Just try to make the most of the time here, and it sure makes me feel better. Anyway, down to you, Gary. WD4NKA in the group. How does my audio still sound right? KK4GZQ.
Netflix is doing wonderful. Almost makes me want to talk to Mac and earlier than I thought. Get into that 6400 amp. Gary, I'm still thinking about it. And very good there, Gary, on Gunsmoke. It's funny you said that about watching the old movies. My wife and I, we watch those old movies periodically on PBS or one of the other movie channels like The Lone Ranger, Annie Oakley, and we get our kicks out of watching that. So I still enjoy that. Wholesome movies. Leave It to Beaver. I watched Leave It to Beaver the other day. You know what that was? They were on too. So I still like watching. I get tired of listening to the news and all that stuff going on 24/7. It's like, man, we get a break. We go back to the real world. You know, when I owned my radio station, I used to have a slogan, Remember When. That was, we did the old radio show, The Lone Ranger, Liver Mickey and Molly, and the Aldrich, and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of fun to do. And let me see, what else was I going to say? Well, yeah,
Joe, pick it up for JCD and then send her back my direction. KD4U.
Thank you, Dan. KD4U and you and Bruce. Good morning, all. Thanks for JCT. That's the number. Kevin, Henry,
Well, Joe, I've not heard of the copper doing that. Of course, that may be the case, but now I have heard of silver doing that, and that's why back in the early days, turn of the century stuff, it was all of your eating utensils were actually silverware, and I have heard of that. So maybe. Even like I was saying the other day, the old milk jugs when they'd milk the cows and stuff, they had big stainless steel milk jugs. They would drop a silver dollar in the bottom of that milk jug, and that would keep the milk fresher for a longer period of time, just having that chunk of silver set down in the bottom of it. So, silver tea trays, silver everything, and of course along with that, I think everybody always had vinyl and vinegar. So if you had any bugs on anything, the silver would try to wear it out, and the alcohol home. So maybe there was something to all of that. But it's something that we certainly don't practice anymore. And I don't practice real silver nowadays. Boy, you can't get silver doorknobs and all that kind of stuff. And from what I remember back in the old days, as far as doorknobs and all that kind of stuff, I think a lot of them were made out of brass and things like that. I've seen a lot of old antique doorknobs made out of brass, but still, yes, that's not going to kill any bacteria, but maybe easier to clean, I guess. But let's see, Kevin, connector on the front of the flex. I was thinking about that. Excuse me. Yesterday, and I was trying to remember what the name of that connector was, and actually I had to look it up. It's RJ45. The only reason why I was looking it up was I was having an issue over here as well with mine on 40 meters. And of course, to explain what was going on, I couldn't say, well, that crazy mic connector on the front of Flex, and of course, you say RJ45, everybody knows what that is. And I've got a patch pin that runs from the connector on the front of the Flex down to a little breakout box where I've got my mic and stuff wired into that. And I was actually having a grounding issue with that. When I was growing up, I could see that my camera was maxing out, which it shouldn't do. But there's noise on the audio line, and that's what it was that crazy connector right there. So I went for it in. Anyway, I was in there last night working quite a few stations up 40 meters and had a good time with it. So I ran my company up quite a bit yesterday, and the antenna performance quite a bit better. So I had a good time on 40 last night there. All right, back around to the top. Up to Perry, WFI from 74 UMU.
KD4 UMU in the group. Jesus. Sorry, W3 MMR. Real good, Kev. Or, excuse me, Dan. Jesus. Well, the Flex, Kevin, sounds fantastic, and I'm glad you got it back. And I'm glad you, everything seems to be okay with it. Your audio's fine. I didn't hear the hum that Henry was talking about originally. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. That's probably what it was. I probably wasn't paying attention. But it sounds fantastic. And Henry, if you get a Flex, you will not be disappointed whatsoever. I think a Flex would be a good choice for you, as opposed to an Anon. Anons can be very, very finicky. They're very easy. They let you control everything in the menus, and it's really easy to go in there and change stuff and kind of screw things up. There's really no owner's manual. Any questions that you have, you can't pick up a phone and call Flex. you can't, or call Apache Labs, customer support. You got to go online onto the into the Apache Labs user forum on their website to find out information and find out about the ins and outs and the new softwares and software updates and firmware updates and using special programmers to update the firmwares and so on and so forth. I mean, it's like a whole nother hobby in itself, owning an Anon. If you want it to be, however, but there is a software, Power SDR 3.4.9, which they're not updating anymore. It works fantastic. It's set it and forget it. Super easy to use and to navigate, and you have no issues. But I mean, if you want to get into the new software, they're coming out with the Power. I use Power SDR Thetis, which they're coming out with software updates. At one point, they were coming out with software updates every day, every 2 days. Now it's been kind of stretched out, and and it's all because it's all fellow hams that are writing the code there. So they've been the hams do it do it on their free time. And hold on 1 second here, I gotta do something. Just had to reset the camera there. I'm recording us this morning, and the fellow hams are doing the code there. So everybody's trying to do it on their own time. So sometimes the between updates get stretched out. But that's another good thing about the Anons and the new software, because if there's something that you think is a good idea that should be put into the software, a good feature, you could put it on the forum and chat back and forth with the code writers, and it can get put into the software. Mostly all the cool software updates, like they have the DX spotting in the back of the pan adapter. They have a gray line map on the back of the pan adapter. You can adjust your bandwidth from right on on the GUI right on the front in the main screen. And there's a whole bunch of a bunch of different meters that you can choose from. New meters, different compression meters, and now there's a feature where you can see all the meters at once. All the different compression, you just pull up a list and you'll have 10 different meters to monitor now, and all of those things were all suggestions from people like you and I to put into the software, and they went ahead and put it in there. So that's a good thing about it. But the whole point of that long old buzzer was that Flex radios are very easy to use, very user friendly. You can call, customer support. I think, Flex would be the perfect choice for you, Henry. So with that being said, I'll keep it moving. Sorry for the old buzzard. And back down to you, Kevin. And I'm sure Kevin will second and agree with everything that I said there. KK4GZQ in the group. And good morning to you, Joe. Great signal up this way. W3MMR.
Yep, absolutely. W3MMR in the group, KK4GZQ, found out, through various data on GAS that you had last week, and they had talked with the Kentucky Cross Media or something like that on the Anon and whatnot. And I thought, well, darn, that would count me out. But I know those Apache Labs, the Anons, are phenomenal as well. I don't know which is better, if there is such a thing, but they're both extremely good from what I can hear. The audio on them sounds great, and I guess the features are pretty similar on the SDRs. Dan, I'm wondering, good morning, John, Oh, I get this picture on my phone yesterday. Joe, don't you read your responses? I responded to you. Anyway, Joe had dropped his front door in some sort of a copper tape or something. I'm not sure what that stuff was. Yeah, I'd say the mailman does think you're crazy, Joe, and the mailman probably sees a lot of people, Joe. So you know, you're slowly but surely you're working for yourself for a name in Fort Walton Beach, that's for sure. And I couldn't help but think that, Joe, instead of just going around to all the surfaces that we touch, the door handles, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, just come out with some of that stuff with like Flex Seal, and get you some copper dust and somehow inject it into the can where you can go around and spray some copper on people. You can just spray it on your hands, and or just do it that way, and you wouldn't have to, and then it would be all over with. And I know that can be done. I've got some paste out here in the garage that is made for connections, like for your ground point, any kind of constant. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of a big stick where you don't get it on and it's hard to get off. But anywhere where you splice your coax in, connections, whatever, you spade it in the copper glue is all called, and it works. I got it back when I was working on cell sites years ago. They always bathed all the connections in that stuff. Anyway, RJ45, Dan, good deal on that. I used to know the name of it, but it seems like I never can remember it. I just call it that big Ethernet connector looking thing. Okay, I'm getting the double bazooka up higher. And Dan, I added my good deal on getting a better signal out. And I went and replaced my quarter wavelength feeder, 75 ohm coax on the Delta loop, and I replaced it with some big, almost hardline looking stuff that's supposed to be 75 ohm, but obviously it is not. Quarter wavelength of it. The only place that it's even fairly in the function is right there. They're cut it for 72, 90, 95 right in there. It could be that stuff is somebody I was talking with Brian up in Pennsylvania. You know who I'm talking about, Terry, M3. I can't remember his call right now, but Brian had some good ideas and said that, you know, more than likely, your assumptions of that being another 50 ohm piece of coax. He said, you know, there's other ohms that come out to it. With all that, but Dan, I'm still resident on the AM window there, but if I travel up or down the bat, I'm at the SWR, and I don't have a clear in line with that station right now, so if I take off from that, then I'm kind of dead in the water, and I'll get that changed out. And yeah, I thought about doing the 4-to-1 and all that, but I don't want to have to deal with retuning all the time to compensate for moisture and all that, and then trying to feed into the shack. I'm going to stick with coax. Down to you, Gary. WD4NKA in the group, KK4GZQ. N4JK.
N4JK, WD4NKA. Kevin, the last week or so I've been listening to you, and generally your signal seems to be much more QSP effective. That may well be, but it's been any changes over the past 2 weeks on that.
K4JCP in the group W3MMR. Well, I just wanted to say 7-3, guys. I'm a sign. I completely forgot about the AM net this morning, and I know I'd have a rough copy with most of the folks down there. So we'll say 7-3, and great getting in here with you fellas this morning. 7-3 to Kevin, Henry, Gary, Joe. 7-3 to you. 7-3 to you, Dan. KD4UMU. And I think and Art, 7-3 to you, Art. Great to hear you this morning as well. Decent signals this morning, not the best band conditions, but nevertheless we made it work, and got the day started like we always do. So you fellas take care, have a great day, and I know I was turning it to you, Kevin, GZQ. So if you're in there, Kev, pick it up. 7-3, guys. Have a great weekend. Everybody stay safe. KK4GZQ in the group. 7-3, everyone, from W3MMR.
Okay, Perry, and good morning to Ed and Z1Q from KK4GZQ. Perry, I'm thinking, where does this thing go? I don't think that it's time yet. I know JMK hasn't been back yet, and several others. So, are you keeping a little better track than I am? N4JK in the group, KK4GZQ. I guess it was pre-net there.
Let me get in Sherry's turn. 79JMK. It's N4JK.
I didn't even know he was in there. Good morning, Gary. See you guys.
Dan signed out. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, it's 73, Jerry.
N4JK in the group, KK4GZQ. Just on a short one here, and I'll get it on over to you, Ed. And thanks, Art, for the audio report. And, you know, I'm running a Heil GM5 on this one. And I was kind of unsure. This is got the, I'm using the HC5. I think this is a dual element, HC5 and HC6. I keep it on the line for that setting. It seems to be pretty good. But I would like to try some other lights on it. I've always heard good things about that little Heil PR20. And I've kind of been keeping an eye on those at some of the handfests and so on. And would like to maybe have another Heil mic to try out here. I thought I wanted that PR40 for a long time. But boy, what an expensive one that is. Ed, I don't want people here long. Let me go ahead and send it to you. And Art and Joe, go ahead and tell me, I loaded up I pre-sold a bunch of work up here, but man, is the weather just not cooperating at all. If it's nice out, but it's too cold, and if it's warm out, it's raining. And I looked at next week's weather forecast on the 10-day, and we've got 80%, anywhere between 60 and 80% chances of rain every day next week. So, yeah, me. Anyway, making it tough. I'd like to get going here. Anyway, Ed, let me send it to you. Good morning to you. So I'll just keep following along with the group. NZ12 to take it with the Florida AM pre-net. 73 to